Hey everyone, welcome. As you can see, some of my most recent acquisitions are here. And I got posed an interesting question today. And it was a friend of mine we were just talking, and they said, what are you going to do with your YouTube channel if collecting ends? And I was like, huh, what do you mean? He elaborated, said, well, Hasbro looks like they're getting out of toys, and it seems like the bandwagon's going downhill a little bit. I was like, yeah, it is. It's slowing down. At the very minimum, there are still rumors that Hasbro's gonna either lose or get rid of the Disney license. And you kind of see people losing enthusiasm. I see, I try to keep my eyes on a lot of things, and Masters of the Universe seems to be slowing down a lot. People are not very enthusiastic. I mean, I'm enthusiastic about what I'm enthusiastic about, and that's pretty much it. But the enthusiasm is waning there. You can tell. I see it too with WWE. Adult collectors are kind of like going, well, okay. Some of them are still into the modern stuff, but a lot of the adult collectors are kind of like, yeah, they got the guys I want, and maybe there's one or two more, but what do I do after that? And, that's a good point. Classified ebbs and flows. Action Force is going strong. Marvel Legends is still going strong. It's just questions about, will it stay? But anyway, let me put R2 in here. Just have a Star Wars guy. He's not a recent one, but he does fit right in. Anyway, I did think it was an interesting question, because for sake of argument, let's just say all toy companies shut down tomorrow for whatever reason. The tariffs get too much. People wig out. Whatever. We got to shut all our doors. Okay. So what happens to this channel? I got plenty of shit to talk about. I mean, I'll keep talking. I'll probably start digging into the collection and start doing videos on things I already own. That might be a thing to do. I might also talk about other subjects. I've got a D&D video I need to do in a little bit, because there's some crazy shit going on in Dungeons & Dragons right now. There's 2 videos I have for that. There's plenty to talk about. I mean, if, say, boom, toy companies shut down, which I know is an impossibility, but for sake of argument, I mean, were it to happen, there's plenty to talk about after that. There's plenty to talk about with movies and television and everything. So, I mean, it's not like there isn't subjects to speak on. Shift the focus. I mean, that's really what I do. There's always going to be some geeky thing that I can talk about. I mean, action figures is not what this channel is only about, even though that seems to be the overarching subject matter, because there's a lot going on in that world. Whether it be Spider-Man's price, whether it be how Hasbro acts, whether it be Valor versus new releases, new news, whether it be, the still defunct Indiana Jones line. I mean, I'm still picking up stuff from that, because they're putting that shit on fire sale, man. I mean, it's like, well, I could add one more. And, wrestling always has a place. I could talk about wrestling. I mean, there's tons of stuff to still talk about. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of toy-centric, but I'm not 100% toy-centric. And you know what? Another one. I could just start digging into the comic collection. I mean, there is plenty of stuff you could be doing, I can be talking about. it's not limited to just what you see here. I mean, obviously I'm a comic fan if I got these guys. I mean, hello. But again, it's not that I think the toy apocalypse is nigh. That's another video right there. But I will say, you know, things are looking pretty insane in the toy collecting field. And it does look like some things are going to get cut off. A lot of people think Marvel Legends. A lot of people think Star Wars. Those two are going to go away from Hasbro. So what's Hasbro got left? G.I. Joe, Transformers. I mean, they have Mass, but they're licensing that out. They have Gem, they're licensing that out. They're pretty much licensing out everything. Power Rangers, all of it. So it would stand to reason that, you know, maybe Hasbro would alter its shift. There was the doom and gloom article by Cybertron that Hasbro's no longer going to be making toys. Actually, they said they're going to make less toys. And actually seeing how things have gone the past few months, yeah, I can see why. Now, I haven't talked much about this, but the Toys for Tot giveaway that my daughter got a Cobra Kai Power Ranger. And then, you know, I got it, and then I got the rest of them for like 35 bucks. That's a good case study right there, because I started to running back and trying to find out, hey, where did these Power Rangers come from? And apparently they were donated to a larger organization who donated it to a local organization, and it all came from Hasbro. I think that's very telling that Hasbro couldn't give these to Ollie's. They gave them away. They literally gave them away. No wonder their stocks went down. They were giving away product. But they had no choice. They couldn't sell it. They overproduced, and that was the price. Still though, it always amazes me how Hasbro can't seem to produce enough. Or overproduces. They can't get... They'll go back and forth, and they never can figure out what the... If you want to have any evidence of not knowing your audience, look at how much Hasbro overproduces and then underproduces. That pendulum has been swinging with Marvel Legends for years, and it's still swinging. They never get it right. It's just amazing how they don't seem to understand what their audience is. Now, granted, the past few years has been really crazy. The audience grew. I mean, I admit, I started saying, hey, I want my Marvel Legends back. I want the improved versions. And here you go. This is where that started and where I got my channel. But at the same time, seems like you should at least be able to figure out, hey, you know, we're growing this much, let's just up it this much. But no, that doesn't seem to be the point. The point is that, you know, they just like overproduce, and then they're like, oops, we overproduced. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll cut back to nothing and then sell it all out. But yeah, I mean, the whole point is that there's other things to talk about. There's other things you can be doing. There's other things you can do with a YouTube channel. And this channel started out as a gaming channel, and then that had a few issues that didn't roll over with me very well. You know, both in D&D and in A Song of Ice and Fire. But, you know, I'm always into something. I'm always doing stuff with stuff, and, you know, I mean, there's tons of things I can tackle. So, you know, it's not like I'm worried about the toy apocalypse. Because I'm very happy with my collection, first and foremost. I'm very happy with these new additions. And, you know, I can keep doing, you know, I can be like Captain America. I can do this all day. But no, first off, I don't think toy toys are stopping, I think we're seeing a big shift in the market. And it's probably going to be one of the biggest shifts we've ever seen, because it's going to be, for the first time ever, Hasbro probably will not be even remotely the top dog. Now, there was a time in the 2000s, 2014 or 15, I think Lego overtook Mattel, and then it was like Hasbro was number 3, and I used to make the joke, Hasbro's the only company in the world that could come in third in a 2-horse race. And, you know, but at the same time, I mean, even if Hasbro gets all out, they just stop toys altogether, there's still plenty of other stuff. There's Mattel, there is Valorverse, there is AWOC, there is tons of stuff to continue to collect. So it's not like there's no options. There's Savage, Crucible, you know, even Mythics. You know, I'm a mild fan of Mythics, but, you know, I can still pick up 1 or 2 here and there. When it becomes to the point that I'm no longer having fun, that's when the problem begins. And I have had that with, I don't want to say action figures, I'll say Hasbro. You know, they have pissed me off in the past. And they continue to do so. It's a wonderful symbiotic relationship. They piss me off, I quit buying. Then I start buying again. It's like, it's okay, Hasbro. No, it's not Hasbro. You're a corporate entity that deserves to flop. Okay, I'm joking. But at the same time, it's still kind of fun. I mean, this action figure thing is still fun for me. I'm still enjoying it. But yeah, there is a turn. You know, there is entropy in this. Everything comes to an end. So what happens when we hit that end? That is the question. What I'd really like to see is this nice 6-inch DC line to complement Marvel Legends. That would be nice. But at the same time, I will admit, I wouldn't buy as many as I do of Marvel. Part of the appeal of Marvel is they're so damn cheap. Well, not now, but they used to be. And the other appeal of Marvel Legends is I do like Marvel slightly better than DC, so, you know, and I know more characters of Marvel. I'll be perfectly honest. I know a lot of characters of DC, and I know some really obscure ones. And, you know, still, it's like, I wouldn't buy a Shining Knight figure. I don't think that would interest me. You know, and that's another reason why I don't collect very many McFarlanes. A few here and there, but, you know, some people treat it like a religion. I'm just sort of like, well, you know, I like DC. I like DC a great deal. But I would rather have a 6-inch line that complements my Marvel Legends, because that works for me. So I don't buy McFarlanes. Well, I buy some of the oversized guys, but that's about it. And I gotta admit, some of the oversized guys, I'm not very happy when I buy them. It's like, this isn't, I don't know. This is, you know, I don't like the texture of McFarlane's plastics. I don't like, there's a lot I don't like. However, I will point out, McFarlane proves that Marvel Legends should be much cheaper. He's a smaller company. I feel certain his MRQs must be smaller. And yet, he keeps hovering around 20 bucks. I don't know. Now, I've never really looked into the level of reuse that McFarlane has. Jada's keeping it around 25. I mean, there's not much reuse I'm seeing there. So that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, you know the MRQs for Marvel Legends is 10 times higher than Jada right now. Come on. So, don't tell me that Marvel is giving us a fair price. I accept it on some levels. I don't like it, but I accept it. Again, if it goes up much further, I ain't accepting it no more. But some people really give me hell over Action Force when I talk about Action Force, because they say that's too pricey. And I'm like, for what you get? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that's really competitive. I mean, you got to think that's a smaller company, smaller MRQ, and you're getting a lot of shit with every figure. So, I mean, you might not agree with me, but I've always thought, you know, that Valiverse was pretty spot on given the size of his company. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. You know, he started out at 32, well, 33 really, 32.99, and he's now down to 30. And I mean, I am amazed how people don't notice the value you get with these action figures, because you get a minimum of 8 hands and, you know, a bunch of weapons, and, you know, some of these guys have more accessories than the Ultimate figures from Mattel, and, you know, they're under that price. So yeah, I don't know. I don't get why people aren't hip to my jive on that one. But anyway, okay, I've talked your ear off enough. It's just a subject I wanted to touch on and ramble a little bit. Just what happens if the toys stop being made? What do? Carry on. That's what we do. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Take care, guys.